are among all these businesses and ventures and experiments in AI, there still are some that are successful. There are people liking, they're using, they have many valid applications. But what's interesting is that some of these companies and some of these products, they're creating whole new industries, whole new niches for what's possible. So in that part, it's cool that it expands our capabilities. It influences culture that way. But this is where it feels like at this point, it's just like one uncontrollable snowball that, like, how do you stop it? How do you say, hey, don't use AI because it's ethically bad? How are you going to do that when everybody else does use it? And if you don't use it, like think about making videos or producing content these days. If you're not using AI, you're going to be 10 times slower than the people who do use AI. So what are your choices? It's not sustainable if you're choosing. Like, you'd have to, like, how do you generate, how do you plug into the existing algorithm? How do you generate enough value over time so it's all sustainable? This is where it influences everything. So it's not as simple as, like, again, for us to make any sort of global decisions about this, would have to be in line, would have to be aligned on this as a planet, essentially. Because what does it look like for us as a humanity to stop working on AI at this point? How would that even happen? It's not possible.
Yeah, it will still continue.
The genie is out of the box. Like, it's like the armed race. It's the same thing, right? The companies just said, like, oh yeah, we're done. No weapons over here. You don't know. Again, it's not in their interest to, they have a stash somewhere. You wouldn't know. It's the same thing. Nobody will forgo this opportunity to, as Harris mentioned, to create. It's essentially a tool and a weapon of the future whose capability is, it literally is like creating a genie or a god.
Yeah,
because if you create it and it has, like, hey, hack into that country and, like, extract everything I need for it. Imagine. It's essentially like a magic tool at that point.
Yeah, because, even right now with the LLMs, it's already creating havocs in a way, right? It's already chaos out there. So imagine what will happen once AGI actually are becoming actually feasible, right? That's another...
See, this is where it's just so trippy to even imagine, because imagine it's accessible to everybody. What does that look like? It's like a world where everybody has a magic wand, and, like, I turn you into a rabbit and you turn me into a cockroach. It's like that level of ridiculousness is going to ensue, because then we're kind of in that world already, because right now your capability, you will benefit from your own intelligence right now. Like, the smarter people use AI better, right? Just because they're able to understand its implications and its capacities better. So they're able to see how it can actually be used and applied to real world to gain or to produce unparalleled results. But if you solve that on AGI level, because here's how you can use AI right now. If you want to create an image, you don't have to rely on your own ability to you don't need to define yourself what the good image is. You can just query it to tell you what the best possible image could be according to some of your initial criteria. So in that regard, already AI is like magic, because whatever you think of, it can take your thoughts and it can create, like, a 10x version, a better version of it. So AGI would be that on steroids. It will be a wish-granting machine. You'd be able to snap your fingers and ask it to... But this is where it's dangerous, because imagine all of us having completely different wishes, completely different designs and ideas and visions for how this should be or that. It will be a war, essentially, because everybody will be in conflict with each other. That's where, like, it doesn't work. I don't see it being possible until we somehow, like, figure out to be on the same page about using it, because every other scenario just ends up in self-destruction for us.